Let's solve this question together. Look at what you are given. You are given that 7 to the power of s minus 4 to the power of s equals to what? 33. We are asked to find the value of x. This question is as simple as ABCD, okay? Now, your first step, what you're going to do, because this question looks so dangerous, but it's very simple as ABCD. 7 to the power of s minus what? 4 to the power of s equals to what? 33. We are asked to look for the value of x. Do you know, by obeying some of the properties of indices, that we are not wrong if we decide to write 7 to the power of x as into, okay, 7 to the power of what? X divided by 2, all to the power of what? 2. We are not wrong by the property, one of the properties of indices, because if you use this 2, which is the exponent, to multiply by s over 2, we are going to have just x, right? At this point, we can also write it as what? Minus into 2 to the power of x, all to the power of 2. It is the same thing as 4 to the power of x, because 2 to the power of 2 is 4, okay? As you can see, this 4 here, the same thing here, as 2 to the power of s, the same thing as what? 2 to the power of s, all to the power of what? 2. Because by obeying the properties of indices, s times 2 will give us what? Will give us 2s. So that means 2s is the same thing as 4 to the power of what? X. Very simple, interesting, right? Now all is equals to what? All is equals to what? 30 what? 30 what? 3. Okay? Wow. It's amazing. Now here I have 7 to the power of s divided by 2, and here I have s to the power 2 to the power of x. We are not wrong if you say let 7 to the power of s divided by 2 equals to what? P, to represent any variable, and 2 to the power of s equals to what? Q. We are not wrong anyway, okay? Now in place of this, we are going to have what? P square. Okay, we are going to have what? P square, because 7 to the power of s divided by 2 is all now what? P. Okay, minus what? Minus q square equals to what? 30 what? 33. Remember the definition of difference of 2 square. That we have what? We have a square minus b square is equals to into a plus b into again a minus what? B. This is the definition of what? Difference of what? 2 square, right? Very interesting. So from here, I'm going to have this what? Into p plus q, okay, into p, okay, into p minus q is equals to what? 30 what? 33. If the product of these two, if the product of this is equals to 33, let's consider what? 33. Now, what are the factors of 33? Remember that if you're watching my videos I've done on this channel, I've taught you guys about what? Factors. The factor simply means those numbers that can be divisible by 33 without any what? Remainder, right? We know that 1 is a factor, 3 is a factor, and 11 is also a factor. If these are the factors of 33. Now, let's find the product of those two factors. If you multiply them, we have 33. We know that 1 times 33 see 1 times 33 see what? 33. But I want you to understand something very interesting, that into p plus q is greater than what? Into p minus what? Q, right? So this will be equals to what? So you can see that we know that 1 is a factors of 33. We know that what? 3 is a factors of what? 33. I also know that 11 is a factors of what? 33. If these are the factors of 33, and 33 is also a factor of itself, these are the factors of 33. Let's take two factors. The product of two factors, if you multiply them, we have what? 33, right? To represent 33. We know that 11 times 3 is what? 33. But we know that 11 is greater than what? 3. As you can see here, what is here must be greater than what is here. That means p plus q must be greater than p minus q. So we are not wrong if we decide to write this as what? Into 11 multiplied by what? 3. Okay? But 11 multiplied by 3 is what? 33. Very interesting, right? Because 11 must be greater than 3. And p plus q must be greater than p minus what? Q. Very interesting, right? So we can remove this from here. Okay? So that means into p plus q is greater than what? Into p minus what? Q, which is equals to 11 is greater than what? 3. By equating this, okay? By equating the, consider p plus what? Q is equals to 11, and call this equation 1, and p minus q is equals to what? 3. Can call this equation what? Equation 2, right? Okay, from here we are having what? P plus q equals to 11, which is equation 1, and we are having p minus q is equals to 3, which is equation what? 2. By using elimination method, because sometimes the equation have 3 ways of solving, right? 1 by substitution method, 2 by elimination method, and 3 by graphical method. Let's use substitution method. So let's use addition so that q can go out. So p plus p will give us 2p equals to, then 11 plus 3 give us what? It give us 12, right? It was 14, right? 14. So this will give us 14. This is 14 because 11 plus is 3 is what? 14. So for us to have p, let's divide both sides by 2 by the equation of p. So if you divide here by 2 and divide here by 2, 2 will go as, so our p is equals to what? 7. This is the value of p, right? So from here we can also find the value of what? The value of q. Okay, so from equation 1 we know that p plus q is equals to what? Is equals to 11. Let me just use equation 2, so very smart. So p minus q is equals to what? 3. We know that p is 7, so 7 minus q is equals to what? 3, right? So let's take p q to our right hand side and take 3 to our left hand side. So 7 minus 3 is equals to what? 7 minus 3 is equals to what? Q. So 4 is equals to what? Q. And this implies that q is equals to what? 4. Wow, this is pro-Cartesian. Amazing. I love this. Now we're going to our p, we're using our what? Q. So we can comfortably find our what? The value of what? X. Recall. Let's recall something very interesting. Recall that, okay? Recall that from here, that 7 to the power of s divided by 2 is equals to what? P, and 2 to the power of s is equals to what? Q. As you can see from here, right? Now we're talking about p is 7. So that means 7 to the power of s divided by 2 is equals to what? 7. And 2 to the power of s is equals to what? 2. Is equals to what? Let me see q. Q is what? Q is 4. It's equals to what? 4, right? Equals to what? 4. From here, we know that the power of this 7 here is 1, right? So the power of this 7 here is 1. So let's equate the power since the basis are the same. We can do without them. So now say that s divided by 2 is equals to what? 1. And here, 2 to the power of s here is equals to 2 to the power of what? 2. Because 2 to the power of 2 will give us what? 4. So since the bases are the same, we can equate the power. Okay, so now see that here by cross multiply, you see that s is equals to what? 2. Or let me say or, because you're having a value of s twice, right? Or our s is equals to what? 2. Because if you equate the power from here, if you equate the powers and just ignore the basis, see that s equals to what? 2. So this, therefore, s is equals to what? 2 twice, right? Twice. Okay, and this is the value of x to this particular problem. Very interesting. Now, to check whether this solution, this s will satisfy the equation, we know that 7 to the power of 2 will give us what? 49. And 4 to the power of 2 will give us what? 16. So 49 minus 16 gives us what? 33. So we are absolute what? Correct. And this is the solution to this particular problem. So thank you so much for watching. Please, if you're interesting, don't hesitate. Do well to like, comment, and share it to loved ones or others who learn from it. Please, if you're not subscribed, consider to subscribe to this channel so anytime another exciting video you'll be notified. So thank you so much, and God bless you. Bye.